There it is, he says. You have to try. The problem is, we all have to try. We cannot not be evil by accident. It is a conscious choice. I want to do this, but instead I'll do that. I want to have the last piece of cake, but I won't. In other words, we have to make conscious choices about what is right and wrong, and we should want that. We shouldn't want society in any form, religious or governmental or even familial, erasing from us the obligation to make moral choices. And a wise religion will remind itself and others that neither individuals nor institutions can cure us of being human, of being evil, of being sinners, because it's part of what we are. It's also the part that makes us grand and glorious and artistic and loving. I know it sounds dull. Good always sounds dull, doesn't it? It's like eating Wonder Bread. All the right ingredients and no satisfaction whatsoever. Evil and sin are way more fun. That's why we go to the movies. We don't go to the movies to see good things happen. We want to see a bad guy get his, perhaps, but we still want to see him be bad first. Remember Harold Hill warning the people of Iowa, of River City, of libertine men and scarlet women. And they all palpitated madly with terror, but they were entranced at the thought of it. We all think of all the innumerable tenderloins where wild music and drink is flowing freely. Ooh, we would all love to be there. We all want to be in New Orleans at Mardi Gras. We remember what H.L. Mencken said years ago, that Puritanism is the fear that somewhere, somehow, someone is having fun. And evil is fun, isn't it? Getting to act out, being free of the rules, doing things without recourse. But that's what we imagine. It's not the way it is. Anyone who's ever been in a courtroom knows that evil is as dreary as a day at the Department of Motor Vehicles. We know that the grinding wheels of evil are exceedingly dull. Simone Weil, remember I mentioned her earlier. Let me repeat her words. She said, imaginary evil is romantic and varied. Real evil is gloomy, monotonous, and boring. Imaginary good is boring. Real good is always new, marvelous, intoxicating. And that may be the challenge we face, that we have an imaginary notion of evil as being exciting and tempting and good as being dull, boring, and obvious. Who wants to hang around with the goody two-shoes of life? We don't see the adventure and virtue, nor the tedium of evil. And that, I think, bespeaks a lack of moral vision for the species. We all would rather spend time talking to the serpent, wouldn't we, than any of the saints. What would be worth being good for your whole life? Ask yourself that question. What would be worth being good for, turning aside temptation, avoiding evil? Heaven is the usual answer, but I gotta believe that there is something between this world and the next that makes being good thrilling, exciting, fun, powerful. I wish I knew what it was. But perhaps together we can venture some of those thoughts. Think on it this week. Think on it. What would you live rightly for your whole life? Why would you give up all the fun of evil for the dullness of good? Why are you alive? That's the question. Next week, I'll take up the question of what all different sins have in common. I already know the answer, but you got to come to church to find out. See you in church. Amen and amen. Come, friends, let us round off the hour with a hymn we haven't sung that I know of, at least in the years I've been here. It's an old American hymn tune. It's in a minor mode, and the text is called "This Old World is Full of Sorrow," but it ends on an upbeat note. Shall we? Let's sing. and the work of friends and lovers belong to the task and are its health, says Wendell Berry. Rest and rejoicing belong to the task and are its grace. Let tomorrow come tomorrow. Not by your will is the house carried through the night. So we are all invited to hold up the rafters of reality, to give something of our breath to the atmosphere, to add some note from our own hearts to the song of life itself. And remember that this day that we make and cherish and share was one that the Lord has made with us. Let us ever rejoice and be glad in it. Amen.